Hello and welcome back to Dragon Quest Wall Tutorials. I'm KoiTGZ, and in this video we are going to do a top 10 list for the best weapons of 2022 that I have in my inventory. So yes, this actually was a little bit hard to make. So of the weapons that I have on the top 10 list, I could have chosen from 12 of them. So I actually had to keep 2 of them out of it, though they are good weapons in their own right, but these are weapons that I feel that I actually gave my personal choice to. But yeah, so I want to first actually mention the first 2 that I didn't include. So that's actually going to be the Miracle Blade and the Guardian Spirit's Battle Flute. So those 2 weapons came pretty early in 2022. They are quite relevant to now, but I actually find some other weapons that I find actually a bit better. So starting off with number 1, or not my number 1, but starting off with number 10, that's going to be right over here. I have it on 2 different characters right here. So this is going to be the Sword of Kusanagi. The reason why I have this particular weapon is because of its main ability, which is going to be Heavenly Rock's Call. So this is actually one of the few weapons that actually have a very good Jibadia based attack. So that's actually an attribute that we actually don't see very often on weapons. So this is actually quite good, and it does actually quite good damage as well. So this can actually one-shot the dragon Mega Monster, since its greatest weakness is Jibadia. But yeah, real quickly in battle, showing you some things like here. Another thing about the weapon is its major buff is that it's going to actually give you a protective shield. So if you have this on a Battle Master like I do over here, this actually does work out quite well. I don't have to worry about using protective shield right in the beginning. I can just go in and start off right away with Stemmy. But since this is a ranger, I'm actually going to show you Heavenly Rock's Call. So that's going to be like this. Another good thing about this particular weapon is actually its secondary ability, which is going to be Ground Spark. That actually does weapon damage to all enemies, and it actually can take them out quite easily. So it's going to look something probably, actually I'll show it to you right here. So it's going to be this one right here, Ground Spark. Yes, so those were the 2 main abilities of the Sword of Kusanagi. So yes, this is one that I actually do use on a leveling party if I'm just going to go in and attack enemies. So yeah, definitely this is going to be in my top 10. Then next at number 9, we're going to have the weapon that's going to be right here on this Armamentalist. This is going to be the Great Sealed Sage. So this weapon actually is very good in terms that it actually provides a very decent Jibadia based spell damage that to one enemy. So that's actually something that has been lacking in the game so far. You do have Jibadika, Jibadina, but those don't actually do as much damage as this particular one, which is going to be Rock Wedge. Not only that, this is actually the first weapon that actually does very good buggy spell damage to all enemies. So this is actually a very versatile weapon. So real quickly in a battle, let's see, right over here. So right here with the Armamentalist, I'm going to actually use the buggy based ability. So that's going to be Wind Chapter the End. So this actually does a very good buggy damage to all enemies, like that. Okay, so then next here on the Armamentalist, what I want to do is actually show you Rock Wedge. So that's going to be the Jibadia based attack. So it's going to work actually quite well on the 2 flying enemies on the ends. So like this. So this particular team, both using Jibadia weapons, the Sword of Kusanagi and also the Great Sealed Sage, This works actually perfectly on an enemy such as King Hydra. Next on my list is going to be at number 8. This is going to be the Strong Fist of the God of War. So this weapon was featured earlier this year for the 3rd anniversary event. So I actually have 3 of these. So this weapon actually does work out quite well, though I'd say what really so the only problem was that while it does great damage, it only really does it when, for example, it has a critical attack. So that's when it does its most damage. Not only that, it does do 6 attacks, but a lot of the times there are misses. So that's actually quite disappointing in terms of the attacks that it does. So if you really want to see this do well, you're going to need to actually have a God Hand using this, and having that God Hand be in, for example, the God Chain mode. That way pretty much every attack is pretty much almost guaranteed to be a critical attack, and you can actually get some pretty good damage there. So probably the most damage I've actually gotten with this particular weapon has probably been close to 30,000, probably a little under that, but this is still a pretty good weapon. But I don't want to actually show the actual ability, since I've actually gone over this quite recently, but I want to continue on to the next weapon. And for the weapon coming in at number 7, this is going to be the Dragon Killer. So here I actually do have this on 2 of my characters. So the Dragon Killer is actually a very good weapon. So at the event that it was featured in, that was for the Gigant Dragon. That was the first Giga Monster that we've actually had. And with that event, this weapon was actually very good. So it not only does very good shadow damage, but it also does a huge amount of damage to dragons as well. So yeah, real quickly in a battle, let's see, right here. So right here is pretty much one of its greatest abilities is going to be right here. So this is going to be the Ice Dragon Funeral. So this does about 520 shadow weapon damage, physical technique damage to an enemy, and it also has a rare chance of either increasing the attack power or the defense power of the wielder. So let's see. They're done. So here, for example, it increased the attack power, so that's actually quite good. Not only that, you also have a parrying stance, so when you do get hit, you actually counter attack, so that's actually quite good as well. So again, going to show you, in this case, also another one here is going to be Burning Fang. Burning Fang is again something that I have shown on the channel. So what it does is that it does 250% meta physical technique damage, but it also has a chance to lowering the enemy's breath damage. So going to be something like this. So let's see, in this case, yes. So the Devilish Cloud, you can see there, actually has its breath damage or breath power lowered. So that's something that I actually have used on the channel and shown it to you before. So about now, next I actually want to move on to the next weapon. So now the weapon that I have at number 6, this is going to be the Dark Whip of Beasts right over here on my Monster Master. So this weapon was featured when the Monster Master was first introduced. So that was in, I want to say, February of this year. So yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, so this weapon at the time when it came out, this was the best metal weapon to actually have on. So it did it has a metal ability that does 15 to 16 damage to metal weapons. So that actually at the time was actually quite good. So definitely is something that I would have had in my party. But besides that, it also has a very good Dorma Breath attack. So that's going to be Darkness Flare. So that actually does quite a bit of damage. So usually if it is if my Monster Master is the first to go, like right here, usually for this particular battle, the Devilish Clouds will still be alive, but pretty much with any of the other enemies, if I actually use Darkness Flare, the enemies all go down. So really, I only need this weapon in terms of just going around on the field. Yes, so Dark Whip of Beast is definitely another good weapon to actually have on. I think it was actually featured again later in this year. I believe in the summertime they actually did bring back this particular banner. I didn't need it again since I actually do have all the actual gear for it. But yeah, if you don't have metal weapon, this is definitely something that you could try to get when a later banner does appear for this. So with that said, that's going to be the top 10 list part 1 of this particular video, so 10 through 6. So I will be going over 5 through 1 in another video. So I will have that video coming soon, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.